She used to text back fast. She used to care. Now she pulls away even though you know she still feels something. You're confused, angry, hurt. But here's the Stoic truth. A woman can ignore you and still be madly in love. Let me explain. Most men take it personally when a woman ignores them. They think she must not care anymore. They panic, they chase, they beg. But what if I told you sometimes silence means she's feeling too much, not too little? Today, I'll break down why a woman in love might distance herself and how a Stoic man should respond. Because reacting emotionally will only make her pull away more. Let's go deep. 1. She's overwhelmed by her own feelings. When a woman falls deeply in love, she doesn't always know how to handle it. The emotions are intense, consuming, even terrifying. Love isn't always soft. Sometimes it's chaos inside her mind. So instead of leaning in, she pulls back. Not because she stopped caring, but because she's scared of how much she does. Stoicism teaches us to not react to the storm, but to observe it. A woman overwhelmed by emotion needs space to breathe, not a man chasing her shadow. If you give her that space, you give her the safety to come back. 2. She's testing your stability. Women don't test you out of cruelty. They test you to see if you are centered. When she ignores you, when she acts distant, she wants to see. Will you spiral? Will you beg for attention? Will you lose yourself just because she's quiet? A Stoic man stays grounded. He doesn't chase validation. He holds frame, calm, confident, and unshaken. If you pass the test, she'll trust you more. Not because you said something clever, but because you stayed solid when she shook the ground. 3. She's afraid of losing control. Love makes her feel vulnerable. And vulnerability, it's not easy, especially for a woman who's been hurt before. If she's ignoring you, it could mean she's trying to regain her control. She's trying to protect herself from falling too deep. And you chasing her only makes her feel more out of control. So she backs away. But the Stoic man knows control isn't in forcing. Control is in letting go and trusting your own value. If she's truly yours, she'll come back. If not, you've just saved yourself time. 4. She doesn't want to feel dependent. Some women are fiercely independent. When they fall for you, it messes with that identity. They start needing your presence, your voice, your energy, and that scares them. They don't want to feel like they need you because dependency feels like weakness. So what do? They pull back. They ignore. Not to hurt you, but to remind themselves that they can still stand alone. The Stoic response: don't try to force closeness. Respect her independence and continue building your own empire. That balance is what creates long-term attraction. 5. She's waiting to see if you'll chase. Sometimes silence is strategy. She wants to see what you'll do when she pulls away. Will you beg? Will you become desperate? Will you blow up her phone? Or will you continue to live your life focused, driven, unfazed? Women are drawn to men with purpose. If she senses that her silence makes you crumble, the attraction dies. But if she sees that your world doesn't stop spinning without her, she'll come back. Not out of guilt, but respect. 6. She wants you to prove you're not like the rest. Every woman has a past. Pain, disappointments, broken trust. When she starts to feel something real, old wounds whisper, "Don't get too close. You'll get hurt again." So, she tests, she ignores, she distances herself. Not because she wants to hurt you, but because she's scared of getting hurt. And in those moments, how you respond matters more than anything you say. The Stoic man doesn't react with emotion. He responds with strength, calmness, and patience. You prove who you are by staying grounded, not by trying to fix her feelings. 7. She's trying to maintain her power. In modern dating, everyone wants control. Sometimes a woman pulls away not because she doesn't care, but because she's afraid of losing power in the dynamic. If she feels like she's falling too fast, she might ignore you just to feel strong again. But this is where most men fail. They try to convince her, chase her, reassure her, and in doing so, they give her all the power. The Stoic man, he doesn't play games. He stays true to his value. He doesn't beg to be chosen because he knows the right woman doesn't need to be chased. What you should never do. Now let's be clear. Ignoring you repeatedly and disrespectfully is not healthy love. It's not Stoic to tolerate emotional manipulation. So here's what you never do. Don't beg. Don't double text. Don't stalk her stories. Don't lose sleep over her silence. Let her actions speak. You speak through your peace, your purpose, and your discipline. You don't earn love by proving your worth to someone confused about you. What a Stoic man does instead, he observes, he detaches emotionally, he watches, not with fear, but with awareness. If she pulls away, he doesn't panic. He continues building himself. He protects his time. He sharpens his focus. And if she returns, great. If not, he's still rising. Because his value doesn't depend on her attention. That's the kind of man who becomes unforgettable. Here's the brutal truth. Sometimes women ignore you when they're deeply in love. Not because they want to hurt you, but because they're fighting themselves. But your reaction, that's what separates weak men from powerful ones. If you stay grounded, patient, and unmoved, she'll feel it. She'll see you as the man who doesn't beg, doesn't break, and doesn't chase. A man who respects himself. And in the end, that's the kind of man she'll come back to or deeply regret losing. If this message hit home, it's time to level up your mindset. Subscribe now for more content on Stoicism, masculinity, and emotional power. Because chasing love is outdated. Be the man worth chasing.